It is Max Out Friday, and like I said, the goals for today are 125, 160. That's 5 kilos up on the snatch from last week and 10 kilos up on the clean and jerk. I wasn't gonna set the clean and jerk goal that high, but just the way clean and jerks were feeling on Wednesday, I feel like it's warranted. We're gonna be pretty aggressive today. We're taking down a full 300 milligrams of caffeine. We're zen'd up. We're fucking ready to go, and I'm excited. This is the first Max Out Friday I've been excited for in 5 months, I think. 4 or 5 months. So it's gonna be a cool one. There's always a good crew there on Fridays, and it's always a lot of fun. Hopefully I can set my camera up in a place that's a little easier to deal with, but we'll see what the fuck happens. So the way things are trending, I would like to see a 300 kilo total in 2 weeks time. Hopefully next week I would like to do 290. But the thing is, you get this really, especially when you've gotten in shape so many times, you've been in very good shape before, and you've gotten out of shape and gotten back into shape over, okay, fucking dickhead. Gotten out of shape, gotten back into shape over and over again. Your body remembers. It's like, oh, okay, it's time to be like this again. Let's get in shape, and then that happens. Sermorellin's still not here, but they did say it takes up to 2 weeks to get it from when your prescription is processed. My prescription was processed last Tuesday, so it has been 10 days, so it should be getting here any day now. We'll see. Okay, F-150, Jesus. If you guys live in fucking Texas, you know that the drivers are crazy. And I know some of you are going to be from Virginia and talk about how the drivers there are terrible. Yes, Virginia has the worst drivers in the world, but Texas is a very, very close second. There's a lot of people on social media that are advertising pain-free training and like, oh, if you're in pain, you should find a new coach, blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing. There are 2 types of training that you can do. 1, you can get really, really good and you can make a lot of progress. 2, you can not make as much progress and train pain-free. There is no in-between. There is no hybrid. You can't be very good and be pain-free. I promise you. If you look at lifters, like look at fucking Carlos Nassar, he's like wrapped like a mummy in KT tape when he competes. He is in pain. Most of these lifters are in pain. Liu Xiaojun was at a world championships and collapsed in back pain in the back room after one of his attempts. Everyone looks up to him. Everyone talks about how great the Chinese weightlifting movement is and how they are anatomically perfect. They have great flexibility, all this stuff. They still fucking hurt, and they do everything they could possibly do to avoid pain. Pain is part of progress, it's part of growth, and if you can't accept that, you're not going to progress as much as you think you're going to. You need to accept the reality that if pain is something that stops you, accept that and know that that's where your limit is. If you can push past pain and be okay with pain, you're really going to see some progress. But there is a fine line. When pain becomes unbearable, then it's an injury, and then you need to get something done about it. But it's Friday. We're about 10 minutes away from the gym now. I am going to resume the camera when I'm behind my bar because I do want to get this caffeine down and really, really, really start to dial in. Huh? I get this elbow thing every time I get back into training. It goes away. Fucking bitch. Dude. Fucking bitch, dude. Not as good as I wanted it to be, obviously, but I can't get too upset with myself when we're like getting back into it. I can get upset with myself if I've been training for a while and I slacked off, didn't recover right, fucked up my diet and did all this shit, but it's week 1, we're coming back. Just didn't have like the sauce today. Like I didn't have the focus, and that's something that kind of starts to come back as I get into training. And I just couldn't like get my brain where I wanted it. I wasn't in the zone the whole time. I was just feeling a little off. Snatches felt just weird today. Didn't love it. But that wasn't really the goal of this week. The goal of this week was to get back into training, and that's what we did. We trained a full week. We're gonna train again tomorrow. So can't be too mad. It sucks not being able to snatch fucking 125, but I've been there before, and then months later have been snatching 150. So the 160 clean and jerk was solid. I was getting really lightheaded today. Don't know why. Probably because I ate pretty far out from training. I normally eat an hour and a half before, so I went into that session a little hungry, but it is what it is. That's just weightlifting telling me, like, hey dude, this shit's not easy. Don't forget that. We start the real training next week, and I'm fucking fired up for it. I'm fired up to be back in good shape, because getting shit on like that is not fun, and I don't like it very much. If you're wondering why I'm wearing a collared t-shirt, I'm on my way to the fucking golf course. If you'll notice, this collared t-shirt is Barbell Apparel. This hat is Barbell Apparel, and we rep Barbell Apparel no matter what we do. Wish it was a little more exciting. Glad I came back and hit the clean and jerk I had in mind. I honestly thought going into that session that the clean and jerk was gonna be more of a problem than the snatch. You can't get hung up on it. You just gotta react and do something about it, and that's what I intend on doing. One of the worst things you can do when you have a bad session is just be like, that's not fair, I don't fucking get it, I did everything right, fuck that. And like, no, look a little deeper into it, think about what's going on, go through the boxes, be like, was my diet good? Next box. Was my sleep good? Next box. Was I recovering well? Next box. Was my stress low? Next. Like, there's all these things, and you can kind of target what was fucked up, and then when you target what's fucked up, you're able to fix that thing. But if you just continue to deny that you should have had that bad session, where are you going to go from there? You know what I'm saying? You can't just like have a bad session and be like, fuck that dude, that's bullshit. Like, no, you had the bad session for a reason. Let's figure out why, and let's make some changes to where that doesn't happen as frequently. Bad sessions are going to happen sometimes when you've done everything right. That's just the nature of weightlifting. You can't get too upset with it, but it is good to try and get some feedback from that. You get no feedback from amazing sessions, none, because most of the time, great sessions don't make any fucking sense at all. But you do get really good feedback from bad sessions. So instead of just reacting and being like annoyed that you had the bad session, figure it out. That bad session happened because I'm fucking 1 week back into training. After about a week of training, which is right where I'm at, you start to get this fatigue, you start to slump downwards a little bit, and then you kind of rebound as your body starts to adapt. But there is an adaptation phase that normally kicks in around a week of returning to actual training, and that's what happened there. The best thing for me to do is to realize that my body is now in a state where it's trying to react and adapt to the stimulus that I'm giving it. So I have to continue to push, because if I don't know why my voice just cracked there. I think missing 125 sometimes killed my testosterone. If you're getting beat down around week 1 and you pull off, then your body's like, oh, we don't have to change. Like, every time this happens, we get a rest, then we get to recover. But if you get to that fatigue point and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna push through anyways, then the body goes, this is the new norm, we have to react to this, and we have to adapt and make sure that the body can handle this. What happens? The central nervous system starts to adapt, you start to put on more muscle, yada, yada, yada. The body starts to build itself up for the weightlifting that you're doing, rather than you resting. Because you resting tells your body, it signals to your body that anytime this fatigue happens, you're just gonna be able to rest. So nothing changed. So whenever you start getting beat down in training, up your recovery, allow your body time to adapt, and trust the fucking process. You're gonna see this whole process play out. That is it for today's video. It was a bad max out Friday. Wasn't great, but they're not all gonna be great. Normally I have a good one following a bad one, so next week should be good. But next week we are diving into the dog pack. We're getting on a real training schedule, and we're gonna fucking pump some training. That was the deload week. That was it. Of course, click one of those links down there if any of them apply to you. Get some clothes, get some supplements, get your fucking blood work done, and sign up for the dog pack, because we are diving in next week, and it would be cool if some of you were along for the ride, because it's gonna be some real fucking work ahead of us, and we're gonna have to be ready. And as you know, doing things is always easier in a fucking pack. That's why it's called the dog pack. So jump on, join the fucking struggle, join the hurt, and let's see where this goes. Later, guys.